Hello, this is how to install OpenBSD 7.6 with KDE Plasma 6 in a QEMU virtual machine. This is the Wikipedia page for OpenBSD. The current release is 7.6 from October 2024. This is the official website, OpenBSD 7.6. These are the release notes. Scroll down until the install instructions for AMD 64. In here we find out the names of the files which are the installation media. There's a install76.iso or a cd76.iso. Let's find these files. So this is a text file that says which files are available at this URL. So at the directory that ends in AMD64. I navigated to this URL, and this is how it looks like. Let's see which of the two files is larger, install76.iso or cd76iso. So cd76 is for, is this 11 megabytes, whereas install76 is 700 megabytes. So let's download the install76.iso file. The ISO file has finished downloading. Let's create a virtual machine. In a virtual machine manager, I'm using the Linux operating system Ubuntu 24.10. File, new virtual machine, ISO, browse, install76.iso. OpenBSD 7.5, 10 gigabytes, 14 vCPUs, 200 gigabytes, OpenBSD 76, customize, finish, the better motherboard, BIOS, let's fix the topology, just one hardware socket and many cores. The virtual hard disk uses the better protocol, which is VirtIO, which is faster than SATA. That's great. The CD-ROM could probably use SATA. Network interface card the fastest possible, which is VirtIO. And then tablet. Begin installation. So it's creating a virtual hard disk. It's booting from the CD-ROM. After the boot is finished, we get to this point where it asks if I want to install upgrade auto install, and I want to install, so uppercase I. Choose your keyboard layout. Hopefully default is okay for me. System host name the same as the virtual machine. Network interface card, VirtIO 0. I'm pressing enter to accept the default proposals. IPv4 autoconfig. IPv6, no thank you. Other network interface cards done. Password for the root account. Start the OpenSSH server. Yes, thank you. I want to run the X Windows server. Do you want the X Windows server to be started by Xeno Desktop Manager? I don't know what to say. Yes. Change the default console to COM is what? The serial or parallel port? No. Set up a user. Full username. Password. Allow root SSH login? No. What time zone are you in? Question mark. America. How do we see that? Okay, I want New York. No such thing. No, let's go with Chicago. One virtual hard disk for the virtual machine. Encrypt the root disk? No. Use whole disk MBR or GPT. We could use MBR, probably GPT is better. Let's go with GPT. An EFI GPT disk may not boot. Oh. Okay, and now it proposes a ton of partitions in the name of security. And /home is the largest with almost 110 gigabytes. It's okay, I only add files, huge files to /home. CD-ROM 0, the source for sets. I want all of them. Continue without verification. So these are sets which are compiled from the OpenBSD CVS source code repository, from the directory /src, and the the sets that start with X are from the Xenokara. BSD is a kernel. BSD.mp is probably the SMP symmetric multiprocessing kernel. Done. Security measure relinking to create a unique kernel image. While this thing is happening, let me look at my instructions. Okay, I have instructions on how to install the operating system. I did create a user named administrator. I'm using install76.iso. I have read the install.amd64 page. Now I should reboot. This time the computer will restart and the ISO will not be in the CD-ROM drive any longer. It's removed automatically by the virtualization software Virt Manager. So now it boots exclusively from the virtual hard disk. It starts XenoDM, which is the desktop manager, the graphical user interface where you can enter your user and password to connect to start the graphical X11 session. Let's try to connect directly using the SSH client because the OpenSSH server is installed and available. SSH. Yes. And we're logged in. Let me look at the rest of my instructions. Let's see if we can become the user root. Yes, we can. Let's enable do as. Do as is not enabled. There's no file /etc/doas.conf. The fix is to copy this file. And now I'm back as the user administrator. You can see by the prompt in the shell, if it's a $, then I'm the user administrator. If it's a £, then I'm the user root, like this. Okay. And now we can become the user root using this command line do as su. Asks the password of the user administrator, not the password of the user root. Now I'm the user root. I want to install some command line packages from the command line. There's MG, which is an Emacs-like text user interface text editor. I usually need, when I connect via SSH or I use the terminal, the file manager MC Midnight Commander. And I'm also used to using the shell bash. So let's eventually install these three. Okay, so it's downloading and installing. The package is bash, which is the GNU born again shell. Git, which is a version control. And then Midnight Commander. And their dependencies. Okay, so it finished. Now I want to change the shell for both the user root and administrator. And now I want to reconnect via SSH. And this time I should have the default shell bash both for the current user administrator and for the super user for the user root. And now we're at the part where the installation of OpenBSD 7.6 is okay for my requirements. My command line interaction with OpenBSD is okay. I have enough packages to survive at the command line. But now I want to go the next step, which is to install KDE Plasma 6. For this, I'm using the efforts of Rafael Sadowski. I have searched on Google OpenBSD KDE, and I get to the blog site from Rafael Sadowski. Let's see if there's anything new related to OpenBSD and KDE. No, just the article from May, which is probably not this one. Okay, a newer one. That's great. KDE 6. So here are the instructions, and I also have the same instructions on this page. Okay, so the instructions from May 2024 are similar to the instructions from January 2024. I need to install just one meta package, which is named KDE-Plasma, which will install the KDE Plasma session and its related packages like the Window Manager X11, Window Manager KWin, and then the file manager, a terminal, etc. So let's follow my instructions here. I need to become super user. I install the meta package KDE-Plasma. This is going to install hundreds of packages. There's a package for each of the KDE frameworks version 6, for all of the Qt 6 framework packages. Graphics libraries, fonts libraries. OpenBSD 7.6 was released in October 2024 and came with KDE Plasma 6.1.4. We can see that the currently available version of the meta package is KDE Plasma not 6.1.4 but 6.2.5. In the GitHub mirror, for instance, we can see the git commit from October 24. So 15 days after the release of OpenBSD 7.6. And the changes are compelling, going from 5.2 to 6.0, not installing KF5 KXML GUI, but installing the KF6 version, etc. So if you're adventurous, maybe it's a good idea, in order to have a better KDE Plasma 6 experience, to switch OpenBSD to current, which consists of running the command line sys upgrade -s, and then upgrade all of the possible packages. But with the note that new users should not be running current, should be running either release or stable. Next up, let's continue with my instructions. I'm I want to see the KDE Plasma session, but I do not want to use the virtualization software. I do not want to use this window. For this, I'm going to connect to the virtual machine using the VNC server, TigerVNC. It's interesting that doas requires the password of the user root just to become the user root. As the user administrator, I want to run VNC password or VNC server. This requires a password that's at least 6 characters long. I will not provide a view-only password. And now we can start the VNC server. It has created some configuration files in my home directory in the hidden directory tilde/.vnc. Let's see if I can connect to the VNC server. I'm on Kubuntu 24.10, which is a Linux operating system. I have installed the TigerVNC client binary packages. So that would be a command line like this one, VNC viewer, and then the IPv4 address of the virtual machine. And then the X11 display, or the VNC display, in this case the 1. It asks for the long 6 characters long at least password. And now I'm connected to the default X11 session in OpenBSD 7.6. As a pager, an Xterm, a Xclock, FVWM window manager. This is the desktop manager. But I do not want to connect to this X11 session. I want to connect to KDE Plasma 6 X11 session. So let's log out. How do we do that? Really exit? Yes. I should have followed my instructions because I want to run the VNC server in the foreground, not in the background. I want to be able to easily kill it with just Ctrl+C keyboard combination. But I have run previously just VNC server, and then the server has started and has backgrounded itself. And now I need to kill the session that's still running. Let's see the list of sessions running. And now let's kill. So this command line, and probably like this. No VNC servers running. But before I start the VNC server again, I want to do what the package instructions say on how to start a KDE Plasma X11 session from xinit.rc or X session. So I need a script like this one, where instead of $localbase, I'm using /usr/local, because that's where the binary packages available for OpenBSD, which are part of the ports, are being installed. And that's the case for KDE Plasma 6 and hundreds of other binary packages that are required by the meta package, KDE-Plasma. These are the instructions that we want. So we make a backup of the configuration file that has been created automatically by the VNC server. And then inside the file /.vnc/x-startup, I put these instructions. Okay, so this is MG, the text user interface editor, text editor that's similar to GNU Emacs. Control X, Control S, Control X, Control C, as it says in here. And we need to have this file be executable. Again, make sure you're not using the user root while you're editing the VNC configuration. While you're starting the VNC server, always be the non-root user. And this should be enough to start the VNC server correctly. It has created the display :1, but we can now easily close the VNC server session using Ctrl+C because it's foregrounded. The long password. And now KDE Plasma 6 is starting and it's running for the first time. Being that we're connected over the VNC protocol using TigerVNC client and server, we can resize the window, which will tell KDE Plasma to resize itself. And now the resolution of KDE Plasma is this strange 1959 by 1008, which is what we want. We want the VNC application client to be able to resize as we want, and then that will resize KDE Plasma, will not stretch KDE Plasma, will not shrink it, will just tell KDE Plasma this is the amount of pixels that the VNC client window has. Please resize the KDE Plasma resolution to the exact same size. Okay. And then let's see what other notes I have in here. So it says that we can resize the TigerVNC window, which I did. Copy paste of text should work. And since we don't have a text user interface text editor yet, I'm going to install Kate. VLC is available because it's a dependency of the KDE multimedia stack. We have console and Dolphin, which are parts of the KDE Plasma meta package. Okay, so do as Let's install the KDE Kate text editor. Spelling, text spelling libraries, aspell, and sonnet. Let's find Kate in the start menu and pin it to add it to the favorites in the start menu. Start menu, and now in favorites I should have Kate. Okay, let's see what applications are pinned. This is the KDE Plasma App Store. Probably not available on OpenBSD because it doesn't support the binary package manager pkg add. So let's remove it from the task manager. System settings, I don't really require it. Okay, in the favorites, I should have console. So let's favorite it. I should have Kate, system settings. And now I can start installing other packages. But before that, I have these instructions where it says that the screen locker is broken and unlocking is not possible. Console kit or login D is needed. So for now, I'm going to disable screen locking. System settings. Maybe these instructions are outdated and now locking the screen works, but it's a virtual machine. I can survive without locking the screen. Screen locking. Okay, let's try to lock the screen. Do we do that? Lock. Yeah, not a good idea. Good that I have disabled the automatic screen locking. Since the X11 server is managed by VNC server, I can just kill VNC server, Ctrl C, restart VNC server, reconnect, and I'm back. No need to actually restart the computer or anything else. Okay, and that's it. Now, because the VNC client window resizes correctly, I could even not install a web server at all on this computer. I could just a web browser. I could just use a web browser on the host computer, and on the remote computer, the OpenBSD computer, I could just not install any web browser. Whenever I need to copy paste the command line, that will work because I'm using the VNC connection. Let's actually see if that's the case. Let's copy some text. So copying from the VNC client to the VNC server worked. From the host hardware computer to the virtual machine, guest OS. Let's see the other direction. And it works. With this setup, I can do my usual programming on OpenBSD. I can program for KDE Plasma, for the KDE community. Everything's extremely snappy. Again, the decision that I need to take is, will I install the web browser in the OpenBSD VM or not? Let's see how that works. So I want Mozilla Firefox. I searched on Google for OpenBSD package search. I got to this page, FAQ 15, OpenBSD FAQ package management. In here it says that there exist command line applications, package underscore add, package underscore check, package underscore delete, package underscore info. Then there's a package underscore locate command in the package locate db package. And for searching for packages, you could use, for instance, package underscore info space -a uppercase Q and then a substring in the name of the package. So that's what I did. I searched for pkg underscore info space -a uppercase Q and then Firefox. I got various versions of Firefox. 130, 131, 32, 33, 34, and ESR, Firefox ESR, a large list of packages actually. Okay, let's install Firefox. So do as package add Firefox. Let's see which of the packages it selects. I'm going to guess that it will go with the newest one, which is 124.02. 134.02, yes. So multiple versions are available, but the newest one is selected automatically if you don't specify a version in the package name that you provide to package underscore add. And now we have Firefox. It's favorited in the KDE start menu. But I also want to pin it to the task manager and even on the first position. I can remove Dolphin from here. And that's it. You configure Firefox to your liking and it works. Incognito window, everything's here. And this should be it. We have installed KDE Plasma 6, the version that's available in OpenBSD 7.6, on a fresh installation of OpenBSD 7.6 in a QEMU Virt Manager virtual machine. And we're connecting to the virtual machine in two ways, either in text user mode using SSH, or in graphical user interface mode using the VNC protocol, especially the TigerVNC, VNC server, and VNC client pair. Thank you.